Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda. I'm a coach and a channel. And this is an experience that I do every single Wednesday where I take a moment and I channel a message from spirit. And then I invite you forward live into this experience with me to receive feedback, guidance, support, and coaching. And the way this works is first, I like to close my eyes and I like to tune into spirit and see what it is that they'd like to share with us today. And if this is a video that is finding you and that you're feeling compelled to click on, then there's something in here for you because I've set the intention for it to find you if it's meant to, and if it's something that you've been calling in or looking for support with. So I encourage you to stick around because there's something in here for you if you're feeling a nudge to be here and to experience it. And the way I like to present these messages is first through a new perspective or new awareness or understanding of some sort, meaning that spirit shares their perspective with you that is meant to open your eyes to seeing things in a new way. And then from there, experience the message internally. And the reason why I like to go about things that way is that we tend to get caught up in a pattern of consuming information, but then it only registers on an intellectual or theoretical capacity. And we never do anything with it because we don't know how it applies to ourselves and our life personally. So when we can experience the message through a visualization, through a feeling in the body, through an emotional experience, it registers on a completely different level and you understand how it applies to you and you alone. And something that my spirit guide said to me a while ago that has stuck with me is that we can only ever truly understand something, fully understand something, when we've experienced it for ourselves. And that is what this human reality is here for. It's to give source through us and our own consciousness through us an opportunity to understand ourselves, to fully understand what it means to be ourselves inside of this reality, which we cannot possibly understand unless we're living it. And so I'm inviting you into an experience today where you're receiving a new perspective and then you have an opportunity to live it. And then it's up to you what you want to do with that. And then the second part of this experience is an open Q&A if you're here to join me live. This is not a psychic reading. This is a coaching experience. And so I want you to come into these lives with me if you're feeling called to join me and to see what spirit can offer you in terms of whatever questions you have about yourself and your life. Rather than asking the question, can Amanda give me the answer to this? I want you to approach it from the perspective of, can Amanda help me access and trust the answer that already lives inside of me? So, allowing me to help guide you into a place of personal empowerment so that you can begin to trust your own intuition and your own inner wisdom, which is there and which is powerful. But we oftentimes disregard it, doubt it, and don't trust it because we've been conditioned to, and constantly looking for that validation from someone else just reinforces that pattern that I would like to call you forward into an opportunity of beginning to dismantle and stand more fully inside of personal self trust. So let's get this started. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to tune into spirit and I'm going to see what it is that they'd like to share with us today. Just give me a sec. Okay, so they're zoning in on an image. They like to start with an image to kind of ground in a metaphor that they're going to use to explain the message for today. And they're showing me Is it this that you want me to speak to or this? They're showing me an image of a what's it called? Like an air balloon when you're standing in the basket and there's a giant balloon above you that being heated, and the air balloon floats and you go up into the air, and they're just showing me this image of you inside of this air balloon in amongst the clouds. And they're saying, like, at a certain point, the air balloon is being tethered to the ground, and then the tether rises with the balloon. And you're floating in the air, you're in amongst the clouds, and there's a part of you that feels the current sorry, there's a lot of different energy here. There's a part of you inside of this air balloon that is feeling the current of the wind and the dampness of the clouds. And I'm getting the impression that this is not necessarily an enjoyable experience for you inside of this air balloon. Like, there's a part of you that knows that it should be enjoyable. It's supposed to be enjoyable. But for whatever reason, it's not landing for you, and you're feeling a little bit, like, bored and also uncomfortable because it's damp and it's wet and it's cold and it's windy, and I get the sense that you're, like, trying to huddle by the fire in the middle of the air balloon that is keeping the air balloon afloat, because that's where the warmth is. And you're just thinking to yourself, like, when will this experience be over so I can get back on the ground and get back to whatever it is that I have planned with my day, because I'm sort of over it. Okay, where are you going with this? And they're just kind of highlighting how we plan these experiences for ourselves. Like, we go through life and we plan these exciting activities, but we're not always super excited about them as they're unfolding around us, because we're so distracted with our own internalized monologue of that is taking us outside of the experience, and that is creating a different reality than we imagined that the experience would provide for us. So when you booked this excursion, you thought it would be fun to get into this hot air balloon and to be up in the air and to be able to look at the ground below and see the horizon and take in the view, because maybe you've never done it before and you thought it would be something cool to do, but now that you're doing it, you're like, this is not what I wanted it to be or thought it was going to be. This is so anticlimactic, and I'm just kind of ready for this to be over. And they're saying that you do that a lot in your life. You plan these incredible activities, but then when it comes time to actually doing them, you don't enjoy them. And we sort of move through life in a lot of ways from this perspective where we're always looking for the next exciting thing that is going to take us to new heights, so to speak. But then when we're actually elevated to those heights, it doesn't feel comfortable and it doesn't feel exciting anymore. It feels frustrating and um, like a letdown. And that is oftentimes what a fresh perspective offers, they're saying. A fresh perspective is not always something that's going to be exciting. A fresh perspective is not always going to be something that is going to elevate you in this exciting, bold, new way to experience a fresh horizon in the way that you intended it to. Sometimes a fresh perspective is here to remind you of the discomfort that is broiling inside of you, the need for something different, for the next thing, for this current experience to be over and done with, so that you can finally feel like grateful that the discomfort was over and now you can move beyond it onto the next thing. And they're saying that is what the message is today. The message today is a reminder that the perspective that they're offering you is not always going to be one that's going to excite you and invigorate you. And why is that? Because what you're looking for is not necessarily um, freedom or peace. What you're looking for is a way to shift your own perspective so that you can access a different frequency because that's what you've been asking for. You've been asking for a way to shift a reality that you're experiencing in your life, a circumstance. How do I change this? What direction can I take that is going to create a different outcome for me? And what they're trying to offer you every time you ask for that, what they're trying to offer you in response is a new perspective, a new way of seeing your circumstances. And that is going to offer you a new energy to tap into that is ultimately going to unfold and unravel in a different set of choices or circumstances. And so when you're asking spirit for help, when you're asking spirit for guidance, maybe the interpretation is that they're going to give you the literal thing, like the literal action step or scenario or um, option or thing to say or specific way to go or person that is going to come in to shift everything and change everything for you. And so you're waiting for this like big exciting thing that is going to alter the course of your circumstances. And they're saying that that's not necessarily what they're here to provide for you. What they're here to provide for you is an opportunity for you to create that for yourself. And the way that they do that is perspective. And this fresh perspective is the shift that's needed for you to take the action that's needed to create a new reality for yourself. And they're saying that the incredible part about all of this is that you get to be the one to do it. Is you get to be the one to sit in your personal power and say, I did that. It was because of me. It was because of my own ability to trust my own instincts, to tune into my own tuition, to take the perspective that's being offered to me and to look at it and utilize it to create something new. And that is what they want to offer you, is the ability to celebrate you inside of the choices that you're making, because that's what you came here to do. You didn't come here for cheat codes. You came here to be reminded of your own sense of self. And what is that? The ability to create the reality that you deeply desire to experience. And sometimes the way to do that is to see the world in a new way, to see you in a new way, to see your circumstances differently. And that can only be provided to you if you're willing to sit and look at the discomfort that that perspective might reveal. And it's inside of taking a good hard look at that discomfort that you can begin to identify, okay, where have I been going wrong? What have I been avoiding? How have I been mistakenly created my current situation out of a necessity that that I didn't realize I had other choices available to me to make? And ultimately, allowing your discomfort inside of this fresh perspective to materialize is going to give you the answer that you need. It's your own feelings that are going to present to you the opportunity that you've been looking for. You have to be willing to be present with them. So you have to be willing to sit inside of the hot air balloon and take it in rather than be distracted of the discomfort of the experience, like the cold and the wet and the shivering and the whatever. Like actually sit there, allow the cold and the wet and the shivering and your maybe disappointment, and look at look out at the horizon. Forget about the discomfort that you're experiencing. Let that be a part of the process because that's just what going in a hot air balloon might be. But also take a moment and look around and take advantage of the perspective that the experience is providing for you. And from there, the discomfort involved won't feel as frustrating because you're going to be getting something else out of the experience. You're going to be getting the joy, you're going to be getting the exhilaration, and you're going to be getting the perspective. What else would you like to say about this? So, this is when they want to offer you an opportunity to really ground this in tangibly. So, they just offered you a perspective. And rather than just taking this in and walking away with it and not really understanding how this applies to you, they really want to ground this in to very specifically show you how this is showing up for you. And this requires you to trust them, to trust you. Okay. So, how do you want to guide them through this? They're just saying, take a moment, be here with the perspective that they're trying to offer you, in the perspective that you've been calling in, and close your eyes for a second and receive it. Okay, they want you to just take a big deep breath and just relax and exhale. And they just want you to think about your life and your situation right now and the thing that you would really like clarity around. What in your life are you feeling slightly unsure about, unclear about, and a little bit uncertain with? And they want you to just sit inside of the discomfort of that uncertainty. Sit with the discomfort of feeling unsure. Just letting that unsureness be in your body, in your mind, in top of mind. And they want to call forward something deeper than that. Because there's a part of you that actually knows exactly what to do and exactly what you want. But you're not fully allowing that to surface because you don't trust in your instincts. And they just want you to sit inside of the willingness to feel if that's true. Is there something deep inside of you, like a sliver in your mind, that sort of has an idea of how you want to go about this, that sort of has an idea about what you want to say or what you want to do, but you lack faith in your ability to, and you're not sure how to go about it? And they want you to sit inside of the knowing that this truth is here, even if it's really small, and just notice that it exists. Noticing that there is a part of you that knows, but you just don't trust how it's going to unfold for you. So, is the truth that you don't know and that you are unsure or unclear? Or is the truth that you're just afraid to make that choice? And what are you afraid of inside of making that choice? How it's going to be received and where it's going to take you. So it's the direction that you would be headed inside of choosing it that feels unsafe or uncertain. Because why? What do you want them to know about this? There's a part of you that has either done it before and it didn't go well, or you're not used to going about it that way, and it's just different. And they just want you to sit with all of this information that's coming to the surface. Getting really clear on the feelings that exist inside of you when you're thinking about this situation. That there's many different contrasting emotions going on here, but none of them are a lack in certainty or a not knowing. It's just fear inside of what's coming, fear inside of the unknown, and a desire to create safety and certainty that you're going to be okay. And they just want to reflect back to you, is knowing the outcome going to make it easier? Or is trusting in your ability to circumnavigate it going to make it feel less scary? Do you actually need to know what the outcome is going to be? And when you think about having that certainty, if you were to know exactly what the outcome would be, does that make it easier? Or does it still feel uncomfortable? Is there still a part of you that doesn't want to do it and that's looking for another option? And just getting really clear on what's coming up here. They're saying ultimately, there is no amount of certainty or clarity or answers that is going to provide you with the relief that you're hoping for and the relief inside of the the putting off of the decision. Ultimately, you're putting off fear, fear of what's not known, and fear inside of choosing something new or making waves or putting yourself in a position that you've either faced before or have never faced. And that's a little bit confronting. And the perspective that they're here to share with you today is the gift of the presence with this discomfort. Sitting here with it, breathing through it, acknowledging that you do know what you want and you do know which decision to make or what to say or what to do or how to go about it. And clarity was something that you never really needed. Patience, trust, and the willingness to be there for you in the times when you need it most. And that is happening right here, right now, as you breathe through this discomfort. And it's this practice of sitting and breathing and just being here with you inside of these moments when you need it. That is the next step. And continuing to do that over and over and over again until you've mustered enough courage to move. Knowing that you can always reposition and move forward in a new way. And so this perspective that they're offering you today is one that creates discomfort by reflecting back to you the discomfort that was here. And from there, offering you an opportunity to find the peace inside of it. Just as though you're sitting inside of the hot air balloon and you're feeling the discomfort of the cold and the wind, but then you take a moment and you look out at the distance and you see the view. You can see the view right now that you know what you want. Deep down, you actually have the answer. There's just discomfort that comes up with it. And that's always true. You always know deep down. There's just discomfort that comes up with it. And it's not the absence of knowing that's creating that discomfort. It's the need to trust you that does. The self doubt, the limiting beliefs, and your fear of your own failure, how others might perceive you, all of the things that could go wrong. And what's needed is just taking a moment to breathe through that. What do you want to leave them with today? They're just saying faith, having faith that regardless of how this unfolds, you're going to be okay. And the okayness is going to come from these moments where you take a step back and you allow the discomfort to be seen and felt, and you breathe through it and you anchor into the knowing that lies beneath. And doing that over and over and over and over again is going to create this dependency on your own inner knowing rather than in a state of limbo that is reinforcing the belief that you don't. Hi, I'm just coming to the chat. 78 Bib, BIB. I know exactly what this is, and I'm grateful for this opportunity for processing. Oh my God. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so grateful that you're here with me. This is probably meant just for you, and I'm so grateful it found you. Okay. So if there's anything, I know that you're here with me. If there's any additional support I can provide you with today, I'm here. You're welcome to ask in the chat. I get the feeling that you don't really need it. But if you do, this is your opportunity to come forward. Oh, I'm so happy. You're going to make me cry. I'm just celebrating you. I'm celebrating you for taking a moment and letting this in and letting this fully land. It's beautiful work. Okay. I'm just going to take a moment and wrap this up, seeing if there's anything else that Spirit wants to share. A little increment of strength has been achieved. Great. Sometimes that's all that's needed. Little bits, little increments slowly over time. Sometimes when it feels like the strength that we need isn't there, and we just get a sliver of it. That's all that's needed. Just little slivers here and there over time accumulate. And then before long, you realize that that you're fine, that you're good. You're going to be okay. And I'm just sending you that reminder. I am hearing that reminder come through me that you're going to be okay. Because you have you, and what could be more purposeful than that is the reminder that you have you, and therefore you're going to be okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us today? They're just encouraging all of us to get in our own air balloons and go for a ride. They're saying, like, get into our metaphorical air balloon, which, like, how would you define what that is? Any opportunity that allows us to receive perspective. So any time you come upon something, a saying, a phrase, you hear something, you get an idea about something, someone says something and it sparks something in you that offers you a fresh perspective. Let it land and get into your air balloon, which means like taking a moment to sit with it as it's landing and feel what it evokes from within you. And some of that might be discomfort, but that doesn't make the journey of the air balloon or the journey of sitting with that perspective worth bypassing. The discomfort is a part of what the perspective is offering you. And if you can allow the discomfort to be there and also take in the view, like allow this perspective to offer you something new, you will get what it is that you need. And the discomfort is just going to be a part of that experience. It doesn't mean that you should disregard it because it's uncomfortable. It just means that that's what that perspective is here to offer you, and the discomfort comes along with that. But sometimes that's what's needed is for us to experience the discomfort of that perspective in order to see the new possibility, which is what? Faith. We're looking for faith. We're looking for trust that comes inside of the willingness to be inside of who we are. And some of that is uncomfortable. But you can only access faith in you by being willing to be uncomfortable inside of you and breathing through it and overcoming it through acceptance, through perseverance, which is not avoidance, it's allowance. Much love, light, and thanks to you. Sending that right back to you. So, this is the message for today. Thank you so much for joining me live, 78BIB. I hope I'm pronouncing your handle properly. Please correct me if I'm not. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel if this is the type of content that you enjoy. If this offered you something, I would love to hear from you. Comment below or email me privately, mandalaurenblau@gmail.com. And if this experience brought up some confusion or a little bit of uncertainty or it didn't feel clear, let me know that too. And I would love to get into conversation with you about how we can create that clarity so that you can move forward with this in a new way. And whether that be just emailing me privately or commenting below, I'm open to having conversations that are uncomfortable, and they don't just have to be positive, because the discomfort offers us sometimes the awareness that was needed. So have a great rest of your day, your week, your night, wherever you are in the world. And I'm sending you so much love. And I will see you again next week. Bye, everyone.